just a hobby like that. When they get my shit playing, I ain't even gotta say it, you know.
Hi guys, I am here at Diamond Fitness and I am doing a leg workout, lower body workout today. No one's here, I'm here by myself. My friends just left, so I figured I would film and show you guys a look at a typical workout for me. So usually I start with my compound exercises and then move into isolation exercises. So I'll show you guys some of my warm-ups as well. So lately I have been following a lower split, a lower push-pull split with lower days 2 times per week. And I've actually been adding in squats both of those days. So one day is a bit more of a strength day, and one day is a bit more of a hypertrophy day. So hypertrophy will be higher reps. So here I'm just showing you guys my warm-up routine. So I usually start with the bar after I do some mobility work. And I do the bar for 10, then I move up to 135 for 5, 185 for 4, and 225 for 3. And this is usually without my belt. I put on my knee sleeves and my shoes generally pretty early, but then I move into 225, usually is beltless, and then since I was just going up to 275 for my volume day, I just went straight up to 275. So, and added my belt. And I am currently hitting a belt PR. Woohoo! So I'm on my 6th belt loop, I think, and so powerlifters will know this. You have your fat loop, you have your normal loop, and you have your skinny loop. So, and I'm being, being sarcastic with this. It wasn't a fat loop, but a bloated loop was the 4th one, and then the 5th one was usually the one I was on. And then now I am consistently on the 6th one, and I still have to wear like a sweatshirt. So my waist is significantly leaner, which is encouraging to me. Here, these are volume squats, so I did a set of 9, and then I did a second set of 9, and on my last set, I just felt really good. These were pretty easy. I usually like to push myself on my last set. It's just how my training is structured right now, since powerlifting is not my primary focus. I am giving myself the flexibility to change up my training a little bit more than I would if I was in a powerlifting block where I'm hitting very, very specific numbers that my coach will give me based on percentages and also based on how I did the week prior, where I don't try to push things or change things when that happens, because it's a little bit more strategic in terms of the numbers we're trying to hit to build up volume and to peak a certain way for my meet. Obviously for bodybuilding, I'm not going to be lifting on stage, at least I don't think I will be. And so strength is not, I don't have to peak my strength for my show. So right now I am sitting out about 16 weeks from my show, and so just trying to maintain a volume day of squats and maintain a bit more of a strength day. So this was my volume day. So on my last set, I just pushed 285 for 10 because 275 felt pretty easy. So usually after my first lift, which is either back squats or front squats, then I usually move into leg press, as you guys have seen in the past. Leg press has been something that I have never added in consistently ever in my training in my entire life, which may be surprising to some of you guys, but actually when I was first starting my serious bodybuilding training, I was also powerlifting. So I've been powerlifting since 2014, and I have been bodybuilding. My first show was in 2014. So I was doing bodybuilding training. I've been doing it since about 2010, but I never really added in leg press. It was just never something I did. So I'm experiencing, I guess you could say, newbie gains on it because I've never done it consistently. So each week I find that I'm able to increase the amount of weight I'm using by quite a bit and still stay at about a 8 RPE. So this, I believe I added 500 and I think that's 550 pounds maybe for a set of 10. I worked up to that weight. Following my leg press, I moved on to split squats. As you can see, split squats, a pro tip, if you have
trouble with balance and you find yourself falling down, use a rod, as you can see there. You can also use a PVC pipe just to help you with your balance. I find that I need to grab onto something to be able to really keep the emphasis in my heel and in my glute, and not allowing myself to just to have bad form. And it also helps with balance, because as you can see, sometimes it's a little bit tricky getting your back foot up on to the bench to make sure that you are staying in position. And what I like to think of in split squats, and see how the dumbbell is touching my back leg, that's usually where I keep it, to keep it in line and keep it keep the emphasis in my heels.
Workout's going well. Did squats and leg press, and now split squats. Leg days take me forever. It just is a lot of effort, so I like to take as much rest time in between each set as possible to make sure I'm fully recovering, and just my rest time isn't playing into how much weight I can lift. I rest sufficiently between each set to make sure I am keeping as best form and as controlled and strong as possible for each set.
So another clip of my split squats here. Currently I am sitting at about 148 pounds. I'm down from 162 pounds. If you guys looked at my last video, which gave a bit more of a physique update, it was more physique focused as opposed to training focused. But I showed you guys a little bit of a comparison with how my physique looks. Things are coming along pretty nicely, so I feel like we're in a good spot about 15 weeks out. Here, GHR, one of my favorites, I like to separate the glute raise and the ham raise. So I just do the ham raise first, and then usually following some sort of ham raise, I do glute raises, as you can see here, really wedging my glutes hard at the top of the movement in order to utilize my glutes. I'm not using my back. I'm rounding my back in order to take the emphasis out of my lower back.
You got the whole gym to yourself
all at your fingertips. Feel free to
with this beautiful day.
or find the items you want. Just put in your vehicle's VIN or the year, model, and trim.
As I mentioned before, I like to start out with compound exercises and then move into isolation. So I like to move into leg curls to finish up. This would just be pretty light at 3x15, and then I also do I usually superset this in leg extensions for 3x15. So as you can see, quite a bit of bodybuilding leg work, but a lot of compound movements as well. And here I'm just taking a little bit of a rest because I got tired. I'd rather have good form than try to push a rep where I'm just sacrificing my form, and just take a little bit of a rest. I believe this is my last set, so I was pretty fatigued. So here, leg extensions, I did 3x15 as well. This just hits a little bit different part of your quadricep, and so this is something new that I've been adding into. Believe it or not, I have never really added in leg extensions into my training program. Here is just a variation of calf raises. So if you don't have a calf raise machine, you can use a hack squat or a leg press for calves. I typically add in about 4 exercises per week for calves. And as you can see, I'm keeping my knees a little bit bent, and the reason I'm doing this is because if I lock my knees out, my knees actually hurt. So it's not a good angle to have your knees locked out on this hack squat machine. So I just keep them slightly bent to keep my quads more engaged and to keep my knees healthy. So typically on leg day, the last thing I finish with is some sort of BFR. I unfortunately have some sort of a weird bruise on my quad, so I can't do full weight hip thrust right now. So I've just been adding in blood flow restriction with knee wraps, and then using, I believe this was about 70 pounds sitting on my lap to do hip thrusts, and I always like to finish with that just to get a little bit more volume in. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hope that you are enjoying keeping along with my prep journey and my hybrid training, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Have a great day.